What's going on YouTube? In this video, we're going to go over everything that Apple announced at their September event. Everything from the iPhone, new AirPods, and new Apple Watch, the usual. So let's go ahead and get started. So the event was a few days ago, so I'm a little late, but here's everything that got updated. Going from least updated to most updated. So Apple added this to their website, this little table of contents per se, and it tells you everything that they changed and kind of gives you the visual details. If you don't want to watch the event, you can just go here and kind of read everything. So we're going to do that here today. With the least updated product, the AirPods Max, the only thing that changed literally is the colors that you see here on screen and a USB-C addition. So there is now USB-C for AirPods Max. That is all that changed for these. They didn't add any new chips or any Bluetooth updates. They didn't add anything other than those two. So that's pretty bad in my opinion, but that's what they did. So that's the update for the AirPods Max. New colors and USB-C. Next up is AirPods Pro 2. This is all about hearing aids. So a nice addition to AirPods Pros is they now have more hearing aid functionality. So they've worked with the FDA and a few other government institutions to get officially approved for hearing aid support. This is really good because anything medical based is going to be wildly expensive, and hearing aids are no different. So this is pretty much going to be the cheapest official hearing aid possible if Apple gets what they want, which is the government approval. So this is all going to be software based. So in iOS 18, when you update to that, this update will come with it. And basically it just adds a lot of hearing protection and hearing aid support. So that's wonderful for those that need it. They also added some adaptive noise cancellation and other things to make it more useful for when you use ANC or transparency mode. So really good update for the AirPods Pro 2. Next up will be the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Oh wait, no, we're going to do AirPods 4 first. I forgot about the AirPods 4. So AirPods 4 just got basically an AirPods Pro 2 treatment. So they got the new H2 chip. They got better Bluetooth. So you get a little bit higher quality and higher range. There are two models of this AirPod. There's the AirPods Original, which is $139. So it just comes with a new H2 chip and a few small improvements. And then you got the AirPods with ANC. That will be about $180. And that will include the active noise cancellation and transparency mode with the MagSafe wireless case and Find My support. So similar to the AirPods Pro 2, these AirPods will have all of that embedded into the original AirPod design, because if you know, all this was originally only for the AirPods Pro, but a lot of people don't like the in-ear tip. So now you can get the original AirPods with the on-ear design and take advantage of all these cool features. Now remember, there's the two tiers, so make sure you get the one you want. It's cheaper, but it doesn't come with much, but they both do come with that cool design. As you see, they do change it up a little bit, make it easier for people to wear. So all in all, it's a nice update, but you have to pay extra for all the really cool stuff for the AirPods 4. And that's pretty much everything that comes with the AirPods 4. And now we're going to move on to the Apple Watch Ultra 2 once I show you everything that Apple is demoing on this summary page. Okay, now we're going to do the Apple Watch Ultra 2. This is just about the same treatment as the AirPods Max. So the only thing that changed literally is a new color, and that is the matte black finish. It's still in the titanium frame, so they made it more more, let's just say, intricate when it comes to getting this color. So it shouldn't chip or expose the titanium underneath, but that's literally all that's changed, is that they added a matte black color to the colorway for the Apple Watch Ultra 2. And that is literally it. So now we're going to move on to the Series 9 here, or I'm sorry, Series 10. The Series 10 got a few minor updates, but mainly they made it thinner and a little lighter with some internal shifts. They were able to do that. The screen will have more angle support, so you can view it off axis and it will be brighter and more clear. So if you want to just glance at the time, you can. It does get a little brighter, but honestly, my favorite feature of the Apple Watch Series 10 is the faster charging. So they finally updated the charging for this thing to a level that's respectable, I guess you'd say. So they're touting that you can get 80% in about 30 minutes, which is really good because this Apple Watch has a lot of health features like sleep apnea detection and more sleep tracking, which is good because if you need help determining if you have sleep problems, this will help you with that. But of course, the charging is important because if you're wearing this overnight, then you can't charge it. So the fact that you can charge it quickly means you don't have to spend much time waiting for it to finish. So that's honestly my favorite thing about it, minus the whole screen and new chipset to make it faster. You can also play audio on here too. But mainly it's the charging, in my opinion, that makes this Apple Watch worth it. Next up, we're going to go to the semi-biggest star of the show, and that's the iPhone 16. So the iPhone 16 skips the traditional treatment that Apple tended to do in the last few updates, which was kind of give it the last year's updates and call it a new product. This time they actually kind of returned back to the old days where both phones got the same treatment. The iPhone 16 gets the new A18 chip. They were on 16, so they skipped a few generations. It also gets the action button from the Pro and a new feature, which both phones will get, the Pro and this one, and that's the camera button. Basically, this button is all about the camera. It's a capacitive button. It's not an actual one. So it's a sapphire glass on the side of the phone, as you see here. You click it and it will launch the camera. If you force press it, it will do other actions as you see on screen there. So that's the biggest change really for this phone. It still has USB-C. It's in new colors, as we showed in the beginning. And there's a few camera bumps too. It got 48 megapixels. They changed the orientation for spatial video for the Apple Vision. So just minor things, but the big one, of course, is that camera button. And of course, Apple Intelligence, which is why this phone got the A18 chip, is so it can be compatible with Apple Intelligence, which will not be available at launch. It will be available sometime next year or early this year. So the biggest change you can expect at launch is the camera button, the special button on the side, and of course the new cameras. The display is still 60 hertz, so it's not getting any better for that. And the battery life, they say, is going to be a lot better, and that's probably because of the efficiency of the A18 chip. So a rather minor update, but still a really cool addition with the camera. I'm curious to see how they do this with the functionality of that camera button, and we'll see what happens. But that's everything that happened with the 16, and it will be available for pre-order this Friday, and then of course 1 week from there it will actually launch. So the usual, it's still at the same price at around $800, so that didn't go up, which is good. So that's everything for the 16 that I was able to remember. And of course, when I get my hands on this, I'll do my best to cover everything as best as I can with iOS 18. So next up is going to be the star of the show, at least on Apple's end, and that's the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. These phones got smaller updates than usual. Normally these phones get all the changes, but it's in line with the 16. The biggest change is that there's a new color for titanium, which is a desert brown color. The phones got a little bigger, so it's 6.3 and 6.9 versus 6.1 and 6.7. And that's because they shrunk the bezels even more than what they already are now, which is good. As you see, the camera button carries over to the Pro. They did add a new camera function, which is the 4K 120, as you see here. So you can shoot 4K slow motion. Really cool stuff. They still have the 120 hertz display. Both phones get Wi-Fi 7, which is great. So it'll help with speeds. And the A18 Pro will just be a little faster for AI calculations and, of course, the 4K recording and all that. So the Pro's got still a rather large update in terms of cameras, but it's not as big as it used to be because the 16 got a lot of the new changes. So that's basically everything for the Pro. As you see, I'm just going through the visual that Apple put on the site, and yeah, it's all going to be about that camera button there and a little bit of the camera. They also tout a better battery life, but that's probably due to the chip efficiency. I don't think they gave out how big the battery is, so we have to find that out later. But that is basically everything that this event had to offer. So there's supposed to be another event in October for the iPads and MacBooks, but for now, this is all they offered. We have AirPods and Apple Watches and iPhones, the usual stuff for September. So as we finish the presentation for the iPhone 16 Pro, there's the A18 Pro there. That's for the AI support and makes it faster and more capable for on-device handling and all that. So that is everything for the 16 Pro and thus the Apple event for September. And once we're done with this, I will go over again a little recap of everything that Apple announced, what to expect and what not to expect when the announcement, or should I say when the phones go live. So we're going to finish up this presentation here. And now we're going to go back, and that will basically end all they announced. So let's do a quick recap. So the Apple event, they announced AirPods Pro Max, just a USB-C update and colors, that's it. Apple Watch Ultra 2, just a color update, nothing more. Apple AirPods Pro got a hearing aid support officially and will add more hearing aid and hearing protection support. The iPhone 16 got a lot of changes in terms of they got some of the Pro features, action button, and better cameras. There's no 120 hertz display, it's still the same. The sizes didn't change, and the battery got a little better, probably due to the A18 chip that came in it. So that was from the Apple A16, so they skipped the 17. This is, of course, to provide support for Apple Intelligence, so all phones will have Apple Intelligence compatibility. And then, of course, the biggest feature will be the camera button that's embedded on the side. This is only for the camera, so anything that has to do with video or photo recording will be housed in that button. The Apple iPhone 16 Pro just got better cameras, kept the same screen at 120 hertz, the same camera button. They updated the microphones they called it studio mic, so we'll test that and see how that goes. But a lot of the features are about video and the new camera button. So that's about it for the Pros. And then you have the AirPods 4. That will feature all of the AirPods Pro 2 stuff. So you have the H2 chip, a new design that helps fit more ears. Then you got a stem that allows you to control it on the AirPods. Certain controls like skipping tracks and all that, and activating Siri. And they added noise cancellation on a upgraded version, so you have to pay for it. It's not on the base version. So there's going to be two models. You have 139, which is just basically the update to the AirPods, which is the chip and design. And then you have the 180, which will have the ANC, the special case with the speaker on it, and Find My support with MagSafe charging, so you can use your Apple Watch charger to charge it. You have to get the 180 version to get all those features. And that's basically it in terms of the products. They did a lot of Apple Intelligence reminders and kind of re-showcasing what Apple Intelligence promises. Of course, those features are not available now. When the phones come out, they will not be available at launch. You have to wait until around 18.1 or 18.2 to get anything Apple Intelligence based. And of course, not all phones will have it. So if you are interested in Apple Intelligence, you have to get a 15 Pro Max or higher to even use Apple Intelligence. So just know that when you get your 16 Pro or 16, it'll just basically be an iPhone with iOS 18. You'll have to wait for Apple Intelligence to come in and make it what they promised. So that is everything in terms of the event. I did my best to recap it as best I can. I'm pretty sure I forgot a few things, but all in all, that is what they announced at this event. And of course, when I get my hands on these products, I'll do my best to go over everything that's changed and put them to the test to see if what they announced is actually available or as good as they make it seem. So I hope you enjoyed the event and my recap. And then, of course, stay tuned for me when I get the products. I'm going to do my best to cover as much as I can. So I hope this helped you out. If it did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. And I'll see you on those videos when I get my hands on the products. So that will happen on September 20th when the new iPhones will come out. So I'll see you then. Peace.